Vital to the communities which they serve are the thousands of miles of highways, constructed and improved by the Works program. The need for first-class highways grows constantly as the automobile and the motor truck become increasingly important in both city and rural commerce. In many regions, great loss has befallen farmers and other rural residents during periods of bad weather which made secondary roads impassable. The need for adequate farm-to-market roads, which would make the transportation of farm produce independent of weather conditions, has been recognized in all parts of the country. But not until the beginning of the Works program was it possible to initiate a general plan for the development of farm-to-market roads. This plan brings immediate improvement in local business and property values wherever a secondary road is completed. At last, the farmer finds it possible to reach his market over well-constructed, weatherproof roads. In all these construction projects, local labor is employed, and wherever possible, the raw materials are obtained from quarries in the immediate vicinity. How big is the WPA road program? In its first 18 months of operation, the mileage end to end would have stretched 5 times around the earth. In many parts of the country are regions which depend largely upon the tourist's trade as a local industry. Areas of great scenic beauty have been made available to thousands of visitors through the development of systems of roads in national and state parks and at other centers of attraction for tourists. Many of these vacation spots were completely inaccessible before the assistance of the Works program made road construction possible.
The WPA was a program created in the 1930s during the Great Depression by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His goal was to provide employment to millions of Americans by funding public works projects. By creating jobs, the WPA injected money into the economy, allowing people to spend and support local businesses. The WPA had a significant impact on the nation by creating jobs and stimulating the economy. They funded the construction of roads, bridges, schools, and other infrastructure projects that are still used today. In Kanawha, the WPA funded buildings such as the old gym, the armory, the tennis courts, numerous bridges, and a few other buildings around town.
Hi, I'm Jacob Goodnight, and I'm here with Dustin Goodnight. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions regarding the WPA projects around town?
Sure.
How did the WPA contribute to the community and its development?
Well, one of the major ways that the WPA contributed to the development of Kanawha was through its roads and bridges programs. Before the WPA came through, there was very few ways to get your product, your crops, from the pasture to the market, and the development of roads and bridges, it greatly improved the way farmers were able to get their crops and their products to the market for sale. It vastly, greatly helped the community to grow and expand in that way.
Are there any hidden gems among the WPA that most people might not be aware of?
Well, I think one of my favorite is that people may not know about is that the WPA actually built the old original Kanawha High School and the original VOAG building. Without the VOAG building being built, it would have been difficult for the younger generation to learn trades that the WPA were doing, like bridge building and rock laying and the masonry, stuff like that.
Interesting. In your opinion, what is the most significant WPA building and why?
I think the most significant WPA building would be the old armory that's down by the park. It gave small communities like Kanawha an added level of protection through the military that a lot of communities didn't have.
Thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions.
You're very welcome.